All right, team, for our first station, we have our power variations and our endurance variations. So first I'll go over power. I'm going to use a light band with this. You don't have to, but if you have one, I recommend. So, again, power is all about being light, quick, and explosive. So I just want a little bit of resistance, and if you want more, you can always grab a heavier one. So for your first one, the right side, that'll just mean our right leg is moving. So you're gonna go out to a lateral squat, back, and up into your power lunge. Out into your squat, kind of like load it, and up, okay? So we're gonna go that for 30 seconds, then we have that on the other side, so left leg is moving, squat, back, drive, okay? When you're up here, you're squeezing your ass, you're squeezing your inner thighs, abs in tight, okay? Everything, out, back, up, okay? Then we have our seated jump squat. So we have 4 exercises per variation. So you're just gonna come down, I'm gonna keep my band on, core is everything tight, up, decelerate back into my seat, and up. So I really wanna focus on how high I can explode. Then our last one, through the length of our mat, we're gonna get low, so our band stays on this whole time if we have it. Lateral shuffle, down into a nice explosive burpee, lateral shuffle, and you can give yourself more lateral space if you have it. So those are power variations. We do those 30 seconds 3 times through. Then we're gonna go through one more time with our endurance variations, 90 seconds, 1 time through. So for our first one, we have, this sucks, a pulsing lunge. That's it. So if you want to grab some light weights, you can. I'm going to start right here. So my right leg is going to be forward. We're going to do this together. I'm going to chat, tell a story, something. Then we have the other side. 90 seconds each. If you need a break, you know what to do. Then, if you don't have a surface, just go on the floor. I'm going to grab a slightly heavier band, but still on the light side, because that's what we're about this week. And we have an iso hip thrust or a glute bridge with your back on the floor. So you're gonna be right here. Bottom of your shoulder blades against your surface. Tuck everything in. So you're gonna hold, I'm gonna support my neck with my hands, and you just have trying to support and stabilize your hips. You have your marches. So this is tough. We're here for 90 seconds. If you're having a hard time, take the band off and do it without, okay? And then our last one, we're just gonna flip over. Band stays over the knees again if we have it. So you're gonna come into a more elevated bear position. So the most important thing is that your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. So we're not in a plank. Knees are gonna come right here. Bring your feet in the middle to start, so we're holding up nice and high with our core, and you're just gonna give me alternating abductions. So notice I'm not opening up, I'm keeping my hips really, really square towards the ground, focusing on the contraction of my glutes, so the mind-muscle connection, as opposed to how high my leg is going. So, of course, you can make it more difficult. The lower you go, the harder it's gonna be to maintain. Okay, and then you can end up all the way down here for 90 seconds if you want. Those who come to class know those all too well. So that is your first station, power and endurance. All right, team, station 2 are power variations. So your first one, you have a push-up to plank tuck jump. So you're gonna be in your push-up position, you're gonna come down, and then as you come up, you're going to tuck your knees as far into your chest as you can. So down. If you can't, do both at the same time. Give me one, start to build up to it. Then your second one, we have jump rope. So if you have one, go ahead. I think you know what it looks like. If you don't, you're right here. Then we have fast gorilla rows. So your light weights, cans, whatever you need or whatever you have. So feet wide. It's really, really important to get into a strong position. So when we're here, what we do not want to do is round the back at all. So pin your shoulder blades together. First sit down with your hips. Your feet are wide, so your dumbbells can hang in between with space, and you're going to quickly alternate your rows. So first thing we want to do with that is pull our shoulder blades down and back, squeeze our lat, and that's what we're going to be squeezing. Elbows are staying close to our sides. Then our last one, grab your pillow that you don't care about. Coming into your tall kneeling position, your toes are tucked behind you, your butt squeezing. We're gonna go into our rainbow slam. So here, kind of sinking down into our hips, we can grab the pillow up and over, slam, and slam, okay? If you have neighbors downstairs or you don't have a pillow like this, you can just pretend up and over, or maybe just take the power out of it and you can be right here with a dumbbell, focusing on the rotation in your core. Then we have our endurance variation. So our first one, 90 seconds, we have a walkout push-up to crossbody knees. So again, these are as similar as I could make them. So if you notice, we had that plank push-up to tuck jump. Now we're gonna walk out, push up, crossbody knee, bring your knee across to the opposite elbow, walk back in, nice and strong, stand it up, 90 seconds. Then we have a calf raise to a bicep curl. So right here, whatever sort of rhythm, if you want to do them at the same time, one and one, it doesn't really matter to me, but you're gonna be here 90 seconds, and then we can always adjust the angle of our feet to vary it up a little bit. Then we have, so you don't need your band to do this. This is an extra option. So I'm gonna grab my super light band and put it around my forearms. So from here, my feet are in a squat position and my palms are facing more my body. It's like an angle like this. So I'm gonna come down, I'm gonna hinge. I'm going to, not a full reverse fly, okay, but do whatever's comfortable, pulling against the band, keeping the elbows a little bit more wide this time, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Then I'm gonna come up, bring it up, squat, and press, okay? If it's too much with the band, don't do it. So in motion, we're here, up, squat, press, back down. So don't worry about going quickly on this one. You're just going to worry about maintaining your stability with the band if you have it especially. So the next one, we're gonna do a 30-30-30 combo. So 30 seconds each move, we're gonna switch right away. So you're gonna be on your elevated surface or on your hand in a plank, or just forget about the plank. You're on your forearm here if you have an elevated surface. Feet wide so your hips can stay square, you don't rotate to open. First thing you're gonna do, find that solid plank, bring that elbow up and back, and you're just gonna give your tricep kick back. Here, when we switch to the other side. And then our last one, it's kind of like a wild card. If you want, you can be seated here. If your low back is fine, you can pump out some more kickbacks. You can come down and give me skull crushers. So I'll probably come down into an overhead extension, but that's just a personal preference. So that's our second station. On to the third right here. So our third station, power variations. First one, we have sit-throughs. I love these so much. You're gonna find your bear position right here. Again, knees, hands. You're going to lift up an inch, stay tight. Okay, you're going to rotate through. Leg is coming perpendicular to your body, not pointing back right here. Kind of drop, pull with your other arm. You're gonna come back through center, hit that other side, okay? And then for power, if you want, you can even add some hops, just stay really controlled. Then, through the length of your mat, we have high knees to back pedal. So, the point here, quick, short. The more high knees throughout the same distance, the better. So, right here, once you reach the end of your mat, you're gonna back pedal and go again. Then, your third one, I recommend a lightweight, but it's optional. You have your split jacks. So start here. It's not a jump lunge. It's a very short little stance, and then slight bend in the knees, and we're gonna rotate and kind of chop towards our front leg. So here, here, and then once you get the hang of it, you go quickly. So usually we do these with the battle ropes. Then next one, we have our pikes. So if you have something that slides, you're gonna just slide. I forgot to grab something, but if not, you're actually gonna do what I'm doing. So there are options for both. If you are not on a slippery surface, you're here with me, you're just going to shift your weight into your hands, explode up onto your toes, come back down. So even with the sliders where you would just slide up and slide back down, the trick is, guys, if we hop in, if we're in this position, if our weight is back in our heels, we're not gonna feel anything in our core. It's gonna feel like a little stretch. So the key is to shift our weight forward into our hands, trying to stack our hips over our shoulders as much as possible. So keep that in mind, no matter which variation you're taking. Whew. Final 4 exercises. So for endurance, final station, you're gonna start with your lightweight here, rolling side plank. So I recommend you starting with your forearms parallel like this. So right here, once you roll into a side, make sure your dumbbell is behind you. So you're in that side plank, you're going to weave underneath, grab the dumbbell, you can come into a press, or you can just bring it right through. Then we're gonna roll into our other side, weave, up, and place. And we're gonna keep doing that. So you wanna make sure your hips are staying high, we're not dropping to reach, we're really pressing through, rotating underneath, lifting as we weave that arm under. So that is our first one. Now we're just gonna flip over. If you wanna add a weight to this, you can add that weight in your hands, but we're gonna start. I want you to think of fingertips on your hips, ribs on your thumbs, okay? Flip those. And then you're going to close that space by crunching in, and now we come into our alternating single leg V up. So with the weight, you're grabbing right here. Then our next one. Okay, this is getting a little fancy, guys, but let's have fun. Why not? Where's my green band? So you're going to grab your super light band. If you only have one, the light band is priority. It's going over your forearms. If you have 2 bands, regrets, I don't know where my green band went. You're going to put the second one above your knees. So this one, guys, just takes a lot of mind-muscle connection, understanding where your body is, understanding what we're squeezing. So with our legs, we're gonna be abducting, so that means we're going to be spreading apart. So you wanna feel it in your glutes, not in your low back. So making sure we're pressing our hips into the floor when we're on the ground. With our upper body, what we're gonna be doing right here, we're gonna be pulling the band to our chest. So when our elbows come down, we're squeezing our back here. Okay, and we're lying down for this. So now putting all of that together, we're gonna try and do these at the same time. So again, if you only have one band, priority is the upper body. So we're right here. Kind of squeeze your butt into the mat. As we pull in, we're going to push our legs out. So our butt is squeezing and our lats are squeezing. And then we release. Try and keep tension here. If you need a rest, then rest. But don't do that every time. Out and in. And release. So that is our third one. And then our fourth one, take your bands off. So starting in your dead bug position, you can always lift up your shoulder blades to make it more difficult, but that does cause strain on your neck, so totally up to you. You're going to start with your traditional dead bug, right here, opposite arm and leg. Then you're just gonna drop your heels and back up. So this drop, this tap is so light that you feel this here burning and working because your low back is also pressing into the ground. Okay, your hips are tucked in, back up, and then restart. 1, 2. If you want to make it more difficult, lift your shoulder blades, get your hands behind you while keeping your shoulder blades up and touch. And then you can always come back here. So keeping that hollow position in your torso. And that is it, fam. See you tonight, 5:30 p.m. My dad will be with me for anyone who asks every time. And yeah, that's it. Mwah. Happy Wednesday.